Shalom, shalom, family. Make marriage great again. Make marriage great again. Let's look at this verse, family. Hebrews 13, verse 4. It says, marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers the Most High will judge. Looking at a verse like that, you see that marriage is honorable. It's a respectable thing. It's a good thing to be married. Your bed won't be defiled. But if you're a whoremonger, you're out here sleeping with multiple partners. If you're out here sleeping with people who are married and, just quote unquote sleeping around, then the Most High is going to judge you. This is called sexual sin. This is why our enemies try to keep us in sexual sin through witchcraft and sorcery. They do it through pornography, through the music they put out, through movies and television, social media. They just constantly put it in our face. So the things that we consume with our eyes and consume with our ears, our flesh is going to eventually act towards that. So we must be careful, and we must build the foundation, put the foundation back in our homes, the order that the Most High has put on us. Let's look at this verse here. This is Deuteronomy 23, verse 17. There should be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. This is an instruction from the Most High. He said, don't be a whore. Don't be out here sleeping with everybody. Don't be a sodomite. Don't be a homosexual. Clear-cut instructions. A lot of people today who claim to be believers, they say that they don't have to abide by, the instructions that the Most High gave. But just think about it as a parent. If I have children, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give them instructions. I'm gonna give them instructions for them to be safe, for them to be clean, to be healthy, to know how to take care of themselves, to be responsible. I'm going to give them these instructions so they can learn how to live. It's the same thing with the Most High's instructions. He gave them instructions on how to eat, on how to live, on how to treat each other, on how to love Him. So we have to keep these things in mind when we think about the Most High's instructions. They're for our own good. Look at this verse here. This is Leviticus 19, verse 29. It says, do not prostitute your daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness. And this is what happened to our people. Our community has fell into wickedness. We have normalized, sleeping around. We have normalized having multiple sex partners. In fact, our young men, have made it a sport to see who can sleep with the most women. This is the normalization that has been placed on our community. And we've learned this through the tactics that the enemy has placed upon us. So we have to just remember, family, that the foundation was always man and woman. Man was always supposed to have a rib for support. The woman was always supposed to have a head. Our enemy's goal when we assimilated in this country in the mid 1900s, their goal was to break our homes up. So they took the man out. They gave the woman rights. They put her on a pedestal so she can be the one to raise the children. It was never supposed to be that way. The woman was never supposed to raise the child alone. It was supposed to be the man and woman raising that child. So the results of that, we see the results of that today. And that's judgment that have been placed on us by the Most High. And I'm not saying women can't have rights or anything like that. A woman can't stand on her own and things like that. But that was never the order. The thing is, what they have done is they tried to make the woman the man. And that was never the order. So it was always going to be a downward spiral where you go to the unnatural. You go out of the design that the creator of the universe has created for his people to live on earth. Let's look at this statistic here. It says, according to data from the CDC and other public health sources, African Americans in the United States have higher reported rates of sexually transmitted diseases and infections, including gonorrhea, chlamydia, and syphilis compared to other racial and ethnic groups. Let's look at HIV and AIDS. In 2022, the rate of new HIV diagnosis among Black adults and adolescents was approximately 8 times that of white people. So you see, family, us being the Israelites, the Most High has judged us, and it's clear judgment, because when we read Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, and if you haven't read Deuteronomy 28, I suggest you go read it. The first 15 verses, she's talking about the blessings that will come on us as a people group if we listen and obey him and keep our end of the bargain, which we said that we would keep when we went into covenant with him. He will bless us and have us set above all nations. We will be in rulership. But the rest of the chapter talks about the curses. So go read that chapter and see who these curses fit. Because when we look at Deuteronomy 28 verse 61, it says, also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Most High bring upon you until you be destroyed. So when we look at these diseases, HIV, which was man-made, that's not in the Bible. All of these transmitted diseases here, they're not in the Bible, but these are all results of sexual sin. Our enemy's goal is to keep us in sin, because they know if we remain in sin, then the Most High is not going to fight for us. But once we come back to the covenant of the Most High and overcome the sexual sin, or overcome sin period, that's when the Most High will fight for us and set us back in our rightful place. So when we go back here, we see that marriage is honorable. It's honorable in all. That means we must teach our children from a young age that they should save themselves for someone who's worthy, that they should save themselves and remain pure until they have proven someone to be worthy enough to go into covenant with them, that then they can raise their family with. And we must teach this to our sons, to our daughters. Teach our daughters to remain pure. You don't have to think it's cool to sleep around or to give yourself to someone who's not worthy. And the same with the men, hold standards for yourselves. And I just wanted to bring this message to say, make marriage great again, family. Marriage is honorable. This is what the scripture says. It's right there in your face. And those who go outside of the order and be whoremongers and adulterers, you'll just stay in judgment. And that's how we end up with babies we don't want and diseases we can't get rid of. That's just judgment from the Most High, family. And I just wanted to bring this message today. So let's make marriage great again, all right? Shalom.